For many kids like these in the northeast of Syria, this is what life's been like for the past few weeks. They're among hundreds of thousands of people who have had to leave their homes in search of safety since Turkey attacked cities and towns in northern Syria. So what's going on? Well, to understand it, you have to know a little bit about Syria's recent history. In 2011, there were protests against the government, which started peacefully but turned violent. Government forces killed hundreds of people, and that sparked a long and complicated civil war. Lots of groups fought for power in Syria, including a terrorist group called Islamic State, whose members carried out some terrible attacks overseas. Other countries joined the fight against Islamic State, and here's where it gets a bit tricky. Russia and Iran joined forces with the Syrian government, but the US helped a rebel Kurdish group that was also fighting Islamic State. The Kurds are an ethnic group that live in this area. There are around 30 million Kurdish people, and they have their own language and culture. But they don't have a country of their own. In Turkey, a Kurdish militant group has fought against the government for decades and carried out many attacks. Turkey and other countries consider that group to be a terrorist organisation. The Kurdish fighters in Syria belong to a different group, but Turkey says they're linked, and it wasn't happy about the US fighting alongside them. But the Syrian Kurds were really important in the fight against Islamic State. By working with US soldiers, they managed to take back northern Syria. They captured thousands of people linked to Islamic State and held them in camps along the Turkish and Iraqi borders. US troops have been there, helping the Kurds to guard the prisoners and make sure things stayed peaceful along the border.
What I do know is that our presence here has enabled this area to be stable.
But that changed when President Donald Trump ordered US troops to leave the north of Syria.
We want to bring our soldiers back home. These are the endless wars.
President Trump said it wasn't America's job to police the area, but it made many people angry. They said it was wrong to abandon the Kurds, and they were worried that with the US gone, Turkey would use the opportunity to attack them. They were right. Within 3 days, Turkey had sent forces into Syria. Turkey's president said he wanted to create a safe area to resettle Syrian refugees and to stop Kurdish forces threatening Turkey. But many people around the world have spoken out against Turkey's decision. As well as innocent people being killed, there are worries it will lead to Islamic State getting stronger again. Already, the fighting has led to prisoners escaping and hundreds of thousands of people evacuating cities under attack. Syrian forces have now joined the Kurds, and Russia says it will help them as well. Late last week, the US helped to organise a ceasefire, which means, for the moment, both sides have agreed to not fight each other. While there have been reports of violence, it's meant that many people have been able to safely evacuate. But this new conflict isn't over yet, and no one's really sure how it's going to end.